The final night of the Republican convention was a barn burner. If you missed it, we're going to play some clips and have commentary from yours truly. I am Randall Terry, and this is Voice of Resistance.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance. Here's your host, Randall Terry.
For our friends that are Democrats and watching, and for all of our affiliates, I want to make a promise to you. We will give the same level of coverage next week to the Democratic convention, and I will play long excerpts of the speeches. That is my obligation, I believe, to be fair to the viewers, and I intend to do that. Everybody here knows that I support Donald Trump. By the way, it was an incredible speech he gave. And we're going to play excerpts of that speech on Monday's program. Tonight we're going to look at some work of John Voight and Ivanka. Maybe Dr. Laura, if we can squeak her in at the end. I could not believe the reaction from the mainstream media. If I was going to deliver that speech, I would have made a couple little changes, but I could have delivered it. Talking about getting rid of the 501c3 bridle, I mean, it covered so much. And it occurred to me as I listened to and read the comments of ABC, CBS, NBC, talking heads, CNN, they hate Donald Trump. They hate what he stands for, despise him. And they just don't get it. He's going to be the next president, I believe. All right, I'm running out of time. We've got a lot I want to get to, so let's listen to his daughter Ivanka's speech. It was so heartwarming. You get to judge for yourself. She is so elegant, and she did a great job. Here she is.
Like many of my fellow millennials, I do not consider myself categorically Republican or Democrat. More than party affiliation, I vote based on what I believe is right for my family and for my country. Sometimes it's a tough choice. That is not the case this time. As the proud daughter of your nominee, I am here to tell you that this is the moment, and Donald Trump is the person to make America great again. I have seen him fight for his family. I have seen him fight for his employees. I have seen him fight for his company, and now I am seeing him fight for our country. It's been the story of his life, and more recently, the spirit of his campaign. It's also a prelude to reaching the goal that unites us all, when this party, and better still this country, knows what it is like to win again. If it's possible to be famous and yet not really well known, that describes the father who raised me. In the same office in Trump Tower, where we now work together, I remember playing on the floor by my father's desk, constructing miniature buildings with Legos and erector sets, while he did the same with concrete, steel, and glass. My father taught my siblings and me the importance of positive values and a strong ethical compass. He showed us how to be resilient, how to deal with challenges, and how to strive for excellence in all that we do. He taught us that there is nothing we cannot accomplish if we marry vision and passion with an enduring work ethic. One of my father's greatest talents is his ability to see potential in people before they see it in themselves. It was like that for us too growing up. He taught us that potential vanishes into nothing without effort, and that like him, we each had a responsibility to work not just for ourselves, but for the betterment of the world around us. There have always been men of all background and ethnicities on my father's job sites, and long before it was commonplace, you also saw women. My father values talent. He recognizes real knowledge and skill when he finds it. He is colorblind and gender neutral. He hires the best person for the job, period. Words and promises, no matter how visionary they sound, will only get you so far. In our business, you're not a builder unless you've got a building to show for it. Or in my father's case, city skylines. When Donald Trump is in charge, all that counts is ability, effort, and excellence. This has long been the philosophy at the Trump Organization. At my father's company, there are more female than male executives. Women are paid equally for the work that we do, and when a woman becomes a mother, she is supported, not shut out. As president, my father will change the labor laws that were put in place at a time when women were not a significant portion of the workforce. And he will focus on making quality childcare affordable and accessible for all. As a mother myself of 3 young children, I know how hard it is to work while raising a family. And I also know that I'm far more fortunate than most. American families need relief. Policies that allow women with children to thrive should not be novelties, they should be the norm. Politicians talk about wage equality, but my father has made it a practice at his company throughout his entire career. To people all over America, I say, when you have my father in your corner, you will never again have to worry about being let down. He will fight for you all the time, all the way, every time. Other politicians see these hardships, see the unfairness of it all, and they say, I feel for you. Only my father will say, I'll fight for you. Politicians ask to be judged by their promises, not their results. I ask you to judge my father by his results. Judge his values by those he's instilled in his children. Judge his competency by the towers he's built, the companies he's founded, and the tens of thousands of jobs he's created. He is the single most qualified person to serve as chief executive of an $18 trillion economy. My father will call upon the best and brightest people from all spheres of industry and both sides of the aisle, a new set of thinkers to face our country's existing and future problems with fresh perspective and brave new solutions. Come January 17, all things will be possible again. We can hope and dream and think big again. No one has more faith in the American people than my father. He will be your greatest, your truest, and your most loyal champion.
All right, I'll be right back, and we will hear from the actor, Jon Voight. Don't go away. If you own a business and would like to advertise on our program, please contact us. We are currently seen on over 130 television stations from coast to coast. We air at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then all times are local. We have a lot of reach, friend, and this is an opportunity at a great price for you to get your product or your service in front of hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people. Also, if there's something that's important to you and you'd like to have a month where you just say thank you to this ministry or promote a certain ministry or a certain cause, contact us. Our rates are incredibly affordable. You'd be surprised. And you, again, can reach into hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of homes. We're currently seen possibly in over 30 million homes. So give us a call, give us an email, and we'll put a commercial up for you. There's a lot of people that like the actor Jon Voight. I had the privilege of interviewing him in Jerusalem, Israel, about 4 years ago. I did a lengthy interview, which was a lot of fun. He decided to narrate a video explaining Donald Trump's life, his history. And we're going to play it tonight. And again, I promise you, I guarantee you, Hillary is going to have somebody do a video for her. Someone will narrate it, and we will play that video as well. So let's go to the Jon Voight video looking at Donald Trump's life.
Hello, I'm Jon Voight. I want to share with you the story of my friend Donald Trump. As you know, he's running for President of the United States. And as you know, when he gets elected, he will make our country great again. The story begins in New York in the early 70s. The city was on the verge of bankruptcy, but Donald looked across the river and saw not a troubled city, but a city that symbolized America's greatness. And he was committed to making it great again. Donald was born in Queens to Fred and Mary Ann Trump. His father was a builder and was the greatest influence in young Donald's life. He learned about leadership early at the New York Military Academy. He became captain of the baseball team and captain of the cadets. He learned the building business at his father's side while working on his degree at the Wharton School of Finance. After college, Donald faced a decision: join his father in Queens or dream big and make it in the greatest city in the world. The decision was easy. Donald's first notable project was less about renovating a building than helping the city rediscover its soul. The once great Commodore Hotel languished in a rundown neighborhood next to Grand Central Station. The hotel was sold to the one developer who showed that he had the kind of drive, backing, and imagination that would be necessary. They chose Donald Trump. Donald convinced the banks that they had a moral obligation to invest in New York and negotiated a tax abatement with the city, jump-starting the project and creating new construction and hotel jobs. Donald's striking new building revitalized the neighborhood.
He single-handedly changed the Grand Central Midtown area by himself by doing that project.
Before long, more Trump buildings helped change the skyline of New York. Building in New York was not easy, but Donald was never more frustrated than watching the city waste 6 years and $13 million trying to rebuild Central Park's Wallman ice rink. Donald was astounded. It took him only 2 years to build Trump Tower. So he stepped in and took over the project. He finished in 3 months and under budget. He took over another city project, tied up in red tape since 1978. Donald transformed a landfill into a championship public golf course and saved the city millions. Donald will tell you his secret for success is a strong team.
He just has that knack of finding the right person, the qualified person who will really excel in that position.
Like his father before him, he taught his children the business, and now they're important members of the Trump team.
Mr. Trump and his children, they love what they do and they are incredibly good at it. And I think that breeds the same type of passion for all those that work for him and are around him.
From day one, my father trained us really well, whether it was in a boardroom, whether it was on a job site. We spent time learning the business, and he made sure we understood the value of a dollar and what it meant to really work.
He'd send me renderings when I was a little girl with handwritten notes on them of buildings that were under construction or in the planning stage and say, I can't wait for you to grow up and help me build these. Now it's fun to stand shoulder to shoulder with my father.
Over the years, Donald has created tens of thousands of new jobs, many of them for women.
When I was building my building on Park Avenue, and he was building the Trump Tower, he had the first female construction superintendent on the job.
When he made me general manager 9 years ago, there were only 3 female general managers of 5-star hotels in the whole of North America.
All right, friend, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I will play the rest of this video We will also have time to play a clip from Dr. Laura. What a stitch. And I will make a couple of comments. I'll be right back. Friend, this program is supported by friends like you who believe in what we are doing. We run a very tight ship. Thankfully, we are on over 130 stations across the country, having tremendous impact. We get emails every day. We get letters in the mail, not every day, but almost every day. We hear from people who love what we're doing. What people don't understand is that it's sort of expensive to produce a television show like this. It doesn't require earth-shattering funds, but it does require financial help. So I am asking you, if you enjoy this program, throw us a $10 or a $20 bill every once in a while, or even a $50 or a $100 check. You see the address there on the screen. Your gifts are not tax deductible, by the way, because we want to be able to say what we want to say regarding politics without the IRS telling us no. So if you like the program, I ask for your support. Welcome back, friend. I want to acknowledge, as we watch the second half of the Voight video, that this is perfectly spun, all right? This is spin, media spin. And that's why I'm going to play Hillary's media spin clip. I remember seeing Bill Clinton's years ago, and I thought, wow, I really like Bill Clinton. So we can all be prey to this, but this is an excellent overview of some of the aspects of Donald Trump's life, and it's worth seeing. So enjoy the rest of this clip, or hate the rest of the clip. And remember, I'm going to do the same thing for Hillary next week.
After a long career, accomplishing much of what others said couldn't be done, Donald Trump has set his sights on a new rebuilding project.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
Donald has said he admires people who put themselves directly on the line. Today, he's not only putting himself on the line, but under fire. Donald could have continued his successful career and spent more time with his family, but instead, he chose to run for president.
See, he doesn't need to do this, but what's been happening over the last 8 years has been so tragic for the course of our nation, he simply had to do this.
For my father to step away from a company that he's deeply committed to in favor of running for elected office was a real sacrifice for him.
It's Donald's nature to help others.
A lot of times he comes across a story or meets a person that touches him, and he'll make sure that that person is taken care of privately for the rest of their lives.
Donald Trump has a very big heart. When police officers or firefighters or even sanitation workers, correction officers, I can remember a teacher got injured or died, he would step forward and he would make an anonymous contribution.
For Donald, it all begins with our young people.
Donald Trump believes that higher education and more job opportunities will enhance the quality of American living.
Donald is committed to protecting our families and keeping our cities safe.
What I see out of Donald Trump, it starts with a message. It starts with a positive message of respect for the American law enforcement officer. But we need it from our national leaders, and that's where we're not getting it right now.
He is the one candidate, the non-politician, who can fix our broken economy and get America working again.
Trump is a guy, brand new, comes in, shakes up Washington, changes policies on taxes and regulations and helps businesses, and middle-income wage earners will get a raise for the first time in 15 years.
Donald will stand up for America.
Donald Trump understands negotiation. There's just no doubt about it. It's one of his great strengths, and we have been taken to the cleaners in world trade. We are losing jobs every year, every day, as a result of bad trade policies and bad trade agreements.
While some politicians say our best days are past, Donald believes our best days are yet to come.
Ronald Reagan was a cheerleader for America. He would talk about what a great country this is, how important it is to work. That gives incentive to people, and it makes working hopeful. I think what Donald Trump can do, he can give us hope again. He can give us pride in being an American again. He can make us feel like what we should feel like. We're exceptionally lucky people living in this country.
Donald Trump is a leader, not a politician. He will be honest with the American people. He will stop wasteful government spending of our tax dollars. He will cut our taxes and create jobs, and will rebuild our broken economy. He will lead this country, not apologize to the world for our success. He will always put America's best interests first, whether it's a trade deal with China or standing up to radical Islamic terrorists. As he has done so many times before, he will stand up for the brave men and women who defend our country and who protect us here at home. He will bring about the change this country so desperately needs and get the job done. It's been a long time since we've had a president like that.
All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I hope that you have enjoyed that, or at least got some information about Donald Trump's life that you didn't have before, because I certainly did. I mean, that was one of the reasons I wanted to play this. Donald Trump, the man, is a mystery to most of us. And we've got little snippets about his life from some friends who spoke and from his kids speaking, and I think that this video helped fill in at least some professional gaps. I'm going to come back and we're going to hear from Dr. Laura. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You're just going to love this, trust me. I want to invite you to go to our website. Almost every book that I have ever written is available as a PDF online for free. We have a ton of products, training materials, tools that are available for you for free. All we ask for is that you give us your email address. That's it, so that we can stay in touch with you, and yes, from time to time, ask you to support this work. So I'm inviting you, go to the website. Now, for those of you who say, well, I don't want a PDF, I want a real book. You can get one of my books. All you have to do is pay for shipping and handling, and then give whatever gift you want. And if you can't afford anything, we'll send you the book for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Why are we doing all this? Because we want to change the direction of the country, and we need to raise up a fresh generation of warriors to do that. That's why we have this tool. I invite you, go to the website, see for yourself. Many people in America have come to the conclusion that the mainstream media is just completely dishonest. I know it firsthand. I'm one of the only hosts on television in America that has actually been interviewed by Dan Rather, by Connie Chung, by Leslie Stahl. I mean, 60 Minutes, Oprah, Donahue, the whole 9 yards. I know firsthand how dishonest they can be. Dr. Laura took them to task, and it was worth playing this clip for you. Watch for yourself.
Up there in the press. You all know why, in your heart, Donald Trump won the Republican nomination. You know it. You know why he won it? Because he dared to call out the phonies, the frauds, and the corruption that has gone unexposed and uncovered for too long. Doing your job is a novel concept. And by the way, people on another cable network were talking about how there was no energy in the room last night. Why don't you sit here with the people? What a joke.
There you have it. The crowd was going crazy. All right, I hope we have a great weekend. Next week, we're going to cover the Democrat convention, God willing. And we will also play on Monday night's program speeches of Donald Trump's portions of his speech, because we won't be able to play the Democrat convention because it happens after the show. So If you missed the Trump speech, we're going to play some of it on Monday for you. But I hope that you've enjoyed this broadcast. And please, please, please stay focused, friends, because we've got to vote.